Welcome to the 3G Fitness Podcast,
where 3 generations of trainers come together to discuss all things fitness related.
Join us as we share insights, tips, and stories from our diverse experiences as we unravel the secrets of staying fit.
Welcome to the 3G's Fitness Podcast, 3 generations of fitness. I'm Coach Cisco.
Coach Michael,
Coach Kyle.
And today in the center, we have a beautiful, lovely guest with us. She is a holistic health practitioner, a speaker, and author. She is nationally board certified NBCHT, and she's also an advanced instructor for the IACT. Yeah. She is mainly here to explain to us colon therapy.
Right.
The amazing Natalie Davis.
Thank you. This is a subject that most people do not want to talk about because you were taught early in life, never talk about your bowel movements. But it is so vitally important in this day and age because younger and younger people are having cancer, colon cancer. And colon cancer ranks number 2 next to heart attacks.
Ooh.
As the main type of disease patterns that's forming in our society. Now, 75% of the population are constipated. And why?
That's crazy.
Largely because the way they eat and drink and consume, maybe a lack of exercise or not enough exercise, and the lifestyle choices that people make has a lot to do with what's happening in their physical being and in their health. Mm-hmm. And the colon health is one of the most important things. It is, all disease patterns start in the colon because of this very thing. If you're constipated and sluggish colon, you're recycling toxicity back into the bloodstream. And so it can hit the brain, your muscle tissue, aches and pains. It shows up in your joints, fatigue, lack of sleep. All of this, depression, all of this contributes to a colon that's sluggish and it's not moving well enough. You should be eating one meal. Within the meal of 1 hour, you should be eliminating. Oh. Not what you just ate comes through. It's what you ate. 24 hours ago, it's starting to move down the track. Okay? So there's always a buildup, and you carry about 10% of your weight in your colon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'll give you an example. I had a gentleman come to see me. When I saw him 25 years ago, he was 225 pounds, 6'2". Mm-hmm. When he came back 25 years later, a lot of life has happened. He was 380 at 6'1". Wow. Getting shorter.
He got shorter and he got bigger.
Right. This way.
Yeah.
Right? But after a series of treatments of 6 colon treatments and 6 lymphatic drainage, and we put him on a detox program for 28 days, the man dropped 38 pounds. That's nice. 10% of his weight.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you guys do these procedures,
yes.
you mentioned that you had him fasting 28 days.
No, not fasting 28 days.
You detoxing?
Detoxing is not necessarily fasting.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole gamut. We irrigate out the colon. That's where the main problem is. It's the impaction that's recycling all these microorganisms back into the bloodstream.
Okay.
Causing a lot of toxicity. And it gets into the tissues, the toxins. And so they get bigger, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And then we change their eating habits and put them on a detox program and get the heavy metals out of the body. Also get them in nutritional balance through the detox. So we're cellularly cleaning them at the mitochondrial level of their cells. Mm-hmm. And that's how you get rid of the toxins so they don't come back.
Really?
Yeah. And weight loss is just a side benefit when you do a detox program. Also, if you do fasting, and I've had people can do a 40-day fast on just water, And I've seen people, that's pretty extreme, and I don't recommend it for everybody. But I've had people come 21 days just on a water fast, and we're still getting poop out.
Really?
Wow.
But so, some of it, that poop is also cellular breakdown from dead cells dumping into your colon. That's coming out too. So there's a whole gamut. My job is to help educate people about their colon health and their digestive system, to reset their body, bring it back into balance. And a lot of the symptoms will go away. The insomnia issues, that gets reset, the circadian rhythm of the body changes, and then you have longer, deeper sleep. Because if the body is too full here in the colon, they can't sleep. The mind is still going.
Really?
And they're up 2-3 times at night, peeing or getting up because they're not having a deep sleep.
That's a lot from the colon that I didn't even know affected
Yeah,
you
yeah,
like that.
I know.
That's where the fatigue, because the toxins recycle, and the fatigue shows up in the body. And the lack of clarity in the mind, forgetfulness, all of that, the depression, and lack of sleep, all combined, brings that person down, right?
Yeah, and that's
Can't function 100%.
everything that you're educating me on right now.
Yeah.
Off camera, I was telling you. I mean, me and Kyle were saying, we thought you were more of a doctor that does more colonoscopies. So we didn't even know what you exactly.
No, colon irrigation.
So what exactly does that consist of? Like, if a patient were to see you,
Okay.
walk me through the procedures and walk me through.
Okay, that's
visit
a
with
good
you.
question. First of all, they come in, they fill out a form for 5 minutes. It's a client information form, which I sit down and go over it with them to see what their big reason for coming to see me. And largely it's because of constipation or vacillation between diarrhea and constipation. Now, diarrhea is also the worst form of constipation because only the watery stools move out. And there's plenty of hard stools left in there that's not getting addressed.
Right.
And the sluggishness of the colon brings out where they're skipping days and they're not eliminating every single day and within an hour of a meal. In a week's time, you've eaten 21 meals, right? 7 times 3. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So if you're only eliminating 1 time a day and you think that's enough, it's not. It's backing up in the system. It's slowly, and kind of like the pipes, starting from the center, building out to the walls of the colon. In the walls of the colon, there's these domes called hostras. And these hostras expand. They're elastic muscles that expand, tied together with tight bands of muscles that don't move. So over time, it builds up. And as you eat, everything moves in peristalsis, which is a wave-like action that has to go, when you eat something, it has to go through 30 feet before it comes out. And even then, not everything comes out. And so it builds up layers and layers in these domes. And over time, you can't even feel the urge to go, and you start skipping days. Having 1 bowel movement 1 or 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. I've seen people go a month without a bowel movement.
Wow.
So what role does fiber play in this?
Okay, but when they're coming in already so full, we have to clean them out. So they can start to feel the peristalsis of their colon. That's their natural contractions that says that gives them the urge to go to the restroom. That tells them that's the body signal. It's sending from the brain, hey, you've got to go to the restroom. So the natural contraction moves it out, right? Okay, so when a person's already full when they're coming in and they're constipated, skipping days, more fiber is not going to do it. It's going to clog them more.
Oh, I
So
see.
what they have to do is do this irrigation so that it'll move it out. It's cleared, the channels are open, and then the fiber will help to speed up the transit time of food moving through your system.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, because remember, when you eat something, it has to go through 30 feet before it comes out. So
Yeah.
The intestine.
that
So
helps
the
speed
small
up the
intestine
transit
first
time.
and then the large
Yes. And all we're working with for colon therapy
is
is
just the large.
large intestine,
Yeah.
or otherwise known as the colon.
Gotcha.
And this is a prevention of colon cancer, okay, by doing this irrigation. You're going to find more regular bowel movements. You're going to sleep better. Your circadian rhythm gets revamped, and it resets your whole entire body by doing this irrigation. Do 3 in a row, because the first day you come in 1 hour, as we work with a person, it's to hydrate the colon, soften the stools, and move out whatever we can in the first day. The very next day, come back. 2 to 3 times the amount will come out. And then the third day gets the rest to the walls of the colon. And then you will feel so renewed. Energy-wise, you're going to drop some weight, which is just the side benefit of all of this, dropping weight. Remember, you're holding 10% of your weight in your colon.
Jeez.
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, but slower bowel movements leads to constipation, yes?
Yes, when
And
they're
then-
slower and not getting enough.
Okay, because it absorbs all the water out, and that's why it's like all hard and
It's
clumpy.
hard because they're not drinking enough water and so it's not as hydrated.
I see.
And then if they're not eating enough, the correct diet, for example, if it's too heavy in carbs, like meat and rice, meat and bread, the pizza thing, those are cloggers. So if they eat more vegetables, it's hydrated with more water, right?
Yeah,
Vegetables
yeah.
are.
Right.
So they have more of a keto diet where they're meat or protein, heavy meat, animal protein with the more vegetables. And leave the carbs out, or low carbs, or no carbs.
I see.
Okay.
I see.
And then drink your water 1/2 of your body weight in ounces per day. So if you're 120 pounds,
Yeah.
60 ounces
Yeah.
is
I
the
tell all my
minimum.
clients that too.
Half your body
Okay.
weight in
Yeah.
ounces.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. So I want to kind of like piggyback more on, saying prevention for colon cancer.
Yes.
I already looked at my good buddy over there, Michael Johnson Felcher, who is a
First-hand experience.
Hey, how many years have you been cancer free now?
I've gone through I'd say probably about a year, maybe a little less than a year. But the thing is that I need to ask you is colon cancer, it's really hard to detect. When you start getting pain is probably when they say you're in like your late 3rd and 4th stage. And you can go 3 stages without even feeling, you can feel healthy. So, why is it so late in that stage? I was fortunate to catch mine in the first,
And that's smart.
I took a colon test when I was 60. I think I was 64, 65. That's late.
Yeah, normally they do a colonoscopy by age 50.
Right.
Now they're pushing 45.
Right.
And then when you do that, you've got 35 more million people needing colonoscopies.
Oh, wow.
That's the collusion of the big pharma and medical.
So, my doctor told me when I went in, mine was done with a stool sample and, detected blood. But she said if you would have, what you do, had that done, you would have
Prevented that.
probably prevented this because you're just into your first stage. She goes, but
Yeah.
to be actually lucky, you're 64 and you're now detecting it. In the
Right.
first stage, she goes, normally at that age, you're about 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, fourth stage
And so getting your colon and everything cleansed
is
is
important.
extremely important,
Yes.
and if you push it off, and you hit that 3rd and 4th stage, it's too late.
Yes. I agree with you 100%. I have a story for you folks. I had a gentleman come in. He was 58 at the time, and he always had this dream of going to France and living there. And so he was an attorney, and he and his girlfriend sold his business, and he moved to France for a year. But 14 months later, he called me. He came back to the States. First thing he called me was, he said, Natalie, I can't go to the restroom. I need to come in and see you. I said, Jim, come on in. So I gave him an appointment. And upon palpating, feeling the abdomen, I said, hey, Jim, I'm feeling this lump here. It's about the size of a lemon. Here, take your hand. Feel this. Oh, my God. I never knew I had that. Yes, how unaware we are about our bodies, right? He's living the life as a freshman that he wanted to always do. So he ate and drank whatever he wanted. When he came back, we found that lemon-sized tumor.
Oh.
So this was a bigger job than me, so I referred him to 2 gastroenterologists. And he picked one, and I remember seeing him in the hospital after his surgery. And he says, they found this lemon-sized tumor. They took it out. The best thing about this is I don't have to wear a bag. And they did what is known as anastomosis, where they cut the tumor out and joined his intestine down to the rectum. So he doesn't have to wear a bag. And when I saw him in the hospital, he was chipper, he was alive and well. I happened to go out of town for a conference, and I came back on Monday in my office, and there was a recorded message from his girlfriend saying that we're having a memorial service for Jim. I said, wait a minute. I called her back, and I said, what happened? I saw him just Thursday, and what happened? He says, well, by Saturday, sepsis took over his body, and it hit his brain, and it killed him.
Wow.
So having the surgery is the most trickiest surgery to do because of all the bacteria that's in the colon. And if they don't clean it out well enough, the sepsis takes over the body, and once it gets in the bloodstream, it can hit anywhere and kill you.
Jeez.
Holy moly. And that was all just from him not taking care of his colon that year he was in France.
Yeah.
If that doesn't wake you guys up, holy moly. Because I would think that the food outside of the United States would be better, right?
So I've
less,
heard.
yeah,
That's
less
what I've heard.
processed or anything like that.
Less GMOs.
Yeah, like how did he develop a tumor there?
It was actually his father died of colon cancer, so there's a genetic connection here.
Got it.
Okay? Some things are passed down to generations in the genes, in the DNA. Okay? And I'll give you another example by this. I had this 25-year client that would come to see me maybe 3 times a year. That's not a lot. That's like once every 4 months, okay? That's not a lot. And I saw her for 25 years and saw her entire family. This time was different. She says, I've got this feeling like I've got to throw up. And I can't understand why I'm feeling this way. I said, are you feeling toxic? Do you want to do the colon therapy? She says, yes, I would like to do the colon therapy. I'm feeling toxic. So we did it. She passed through a lot of stuff and moved it out. And when she looked, at the end, we send them to the restroom to empty out some more. And when she came back out, she said, I still have that nauseous feeling like I have to throw up. So I went into meditation, held her hands, and I saw in my mind's eye her liver and her pancreas. I said, Helen, I want you to go to your doctor, request for a scan of your pancreas and your liver. Let me know what they find. 3 weeks later, she called me. She says, Natalie, are you sitting down? I said, yes. She says, well, remember I was in last with you. You said to go see a doctor and have a scan of my pancreas and my liver. I said, that's correct. He says, well, they found cancer in both places.
Oh.
And that was contributing to my nauseousness.
Wow.
I said, oh, Helen. It just brought tears to my eyes because I just value this. Every client, I just value them. Mm-hmm. And, you know, after 25 years, you know their whole family, their story. It was like family.
How old was she?
She was 65 at the time.
Okay.
And she was a thin person. She wasn't large in any way. But when I went to her funeral, she died within a year. Whenever you have pancreatic cancer, it is usually a short term, within 6 months to a year you have left. So I said, and what have you and Alan decided? That's her husband. He said, well, we're going to go to the City of Hope to deal with this cancer issue. I said, okay, I'll support your decision. And in 6 weeks, I'm going to bring a dinner over your home, and we'll have a chat. I did that. I called them up, and then I brought some dinner over for her and her husband, grilled some king salmon and some asparagus and some nice Greek salad, Mediterranean style, you know, and took it over there. And as we're having dinner together, he says, how does this happen? We eat organically green. We're not big drinkers. We'll have an occasional glass of wine with dinner, but not always. We're not smokers. How does this happen to Helen? I said, I looked over to Helen. I said, Helen, is there any genetic process here where there's an aunt or a parent or a grandparent that has had issues with cancer? So she thought a minute. She says, actually, my grandmother on my father's side had pancreatic cancer. And then my father had liver cancer. I said, there's your bingo. That is your connection. It passes mothers to sons, fathers to daughters, usually.
Oh.
It can, if you have, the daughters have the same blood type as the father. And then the father had the same blood type as the mother. And the mother, which is the grandmother, had pancreatic cancer. And she says, I have 4 other sisters, but why me? I said, well, it's just the luck of the draw. I mean, you know, you come in with a certain set of cards, you got to play it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so we found the connection there that's genetics play a great factor. The way you eat today may be still the way you were showed how to eat when you were a child. Mm-hmm. But if you're in bodybuilding, so you guys are eating differently now than when you were growing up, you know.
Yeah.
But usually most people just vacillate between the same 25 food groups that they grew up with, and they still eat today.
Yeah.
So yes, genetics plays a big factor. The way you eat plays a factor, and lack of exercise. All of this.
Genetics, it does. It plays. Plays a big factor in it because the only reason they had me go test is because my mom had colon cancer.
There you go, mothers to sons, and then you have her DNA. You have her also the same blood type.
And I asked that same question.
Yeah.
Why me? Because I got a brother and sister.
Yeah.
And they didn't test. They didn't test positive for it. But
okay.
I was like, why me? And the doctor told me that.
Are you the firstborn?
Pardon me?
Are you the firstborn?
No, I'm the last.
The lastborn. Okay. But I'll bet you dimes to donut you have the same blood type as your mom.
Probably. I don't know if I did. I might have, but they said, since your mom had it, you need to go get tested. Because colon cancer is genetic. And you need to go get tested just to see if you have it. Mm-hmm. And I did, and they told me, yeah, you're positive and stuff. So, it is a genetic thing. I can definitely say that. And cancer is if it's pancreas cancer or if it's lung cancer, whatever cancer it is, right away you're thinking you're going to die.
Okay, for women especially, and men, because even men have estrogens produced in their body.
Yes, we do.
Right? Okay, so women especially have a lot of estrogens produced in their body. And so if they can't get it out through pooping enough, and they're not eliminating enough, then the estrogens are building in their body, and it forms tumors and cysts. And these tumors can lead to cancer. And that's why it's so rampant for women to have breast cancer, lung cancer, even they're not smokers. They still get it because the lungs are the sister organ to the colon.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the connection. And that's why ovarian cancer, uterine cancers. And then there's the emotional component that comes into this too. When I look at a whole person, I look at the whole person, mind-body connection. So if they're holding a lot of anger issues, it can form into cancer.
Stress, like stress, too much cortisol,
That
all
was
that
what
stuff.
I say, yeah.
All that, yep. That's right. That's the negative stuff. The cortisol level goes down, the DHEA goes down, and the bad stuff goes up.
Wow.
And it shows up that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's why women put on the weight on the hips and the girth here, right?
Mm-hmm.
The cortisol levels are building, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So see all these interconnections in the body that all leads back to your colon.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say. It was like, it sounds
Right,
like
100%.
Like it's all, your colon is almost like the center of force. Almost.
Well, it
It's
starts
like,
there.
Yeah.
It's all disease patterns starts there in your colon. That's why it's so vitally important to have this done. You want to look your best bodybuilding, but also it's what's on the inside.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got to take care of that too, majorly.
So it's, you got what? I'm not, and I could be wrong on this. You got like 21 feet or 31 feet of intestines in you?
No, you have 30 feet
Yeah.
from the time you eat something before you go out the door. We're only working with the last 6 feet, which is the human garbage can, which is the colon or large intestine.
okay.
17 feet of small intestines. Then you've got the stomach. It go through the duodenum, the jejunum, and then 17 feet of small intestine.
But because I had my gallbladder removed.
Oh, you had that removed, huh?
Yeah.
Gallstones.
Yeah. It got stuck.
Do you know you can get those gallstones out naturally?
Well, they said I had 2. And they said they can't get them out.
Well, I'll tell you
You know.
what. Yeah, the surgeons want to do surgically. That's how they make their money. But you can get gallstones.
Well, all I know is they hurt.
Yeah, but get caught in the common bile duct.
So do what you got to do. They
But
hurt.
My son-in-law had gallstones, and he had a gallbladder attack. So he went to the ER, and they said, "Oh, we got to take it out. You've got some gallstones." He says, "Oh no, I don't want to do that." So anyway, he packed up his stuff and left, and he called me up and he says, "Natalie, what should I do? I don't want surgery." I said, "Come on in. We're going to do some colon therapy, and then we have to irrigate you out, and then also I'll guide you through a liver gallbladder flush." And we did. He did this protocol after he did 3 colon sessions, so he could see his actual gallstones come out. You can melt those stones down naturally. And then it's a real quick protocol. Over 3 days, you take this malic acids of apples, and it helps to melt those stones down. And it comes out through your rectum. You pass it through.
So he could wait that time to go see you
Yeah, he
when
came to see me.
when his stones are stuck.
Yeah, but let me tell you.
I couldn't wait. I was curled up on the car floor, just rushing me in the hospital, and I'm like, you got 2 gallstones stuck. We're gonna have to take off your gallbladder. I said, let's go.
We irrigated him about 3 days in a row, and then I got him on the protocol, which over 3 days was drinking this stuff, and it helped him dissolve the stones, and he passed it out through the rectum.
Well, that's how you get.
And he was good for 3 years.
Huh.
He didn't change his diet.
Okay.
I mean, that's the whole
And
purpose.
so it came back.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah,
it came
you
back.
have to change your diet.
Yeah.
And that means cut out the fried foods especially.
Okay.
Heavy oils, anything deep fried, got to get rid of that. That's what promotes the gallstones.
So you have to dissolve them so they can
Yes.
get through.
Exactly.
But if they're like too big, they get like clogged into your gallbladder, and
Yeah,
you
it
literally
gets stuck in
can't.
the common bile, which gives you pain. That's what happened with you.
Yeah.
Okay?
It was-
But with the protocol I gave him, it had dissolved it, and he was good.
So if you eliminate the gallbladder,
You're still producing bile.
Yeah, but they say
through your
that's
liver.
like a processing station inside of you.
Yes.
This is where they explained it to me, that now you don't have a gallbladder. It goes right through.
Right. So your liver produces bile.
Mm-hmm.
Your gallbladder is the holding station for the bile.
Mm-hmm.
Raise a thumb. This is about the size of your gallbladder, about the size of your thumb.
I know, yeah, because they take it out through a scope and they.
And it's cholesterol deposits that have gotten in there that turned into the stone. They get calcified. They're cholesterol deposits from fried foods and things. Too much heavy oils.
So basically, when you got to go to the restroom, you got to go to the restroom.
Yeah, don't wait. Don't put it out.
Can't-
Dang. But
You actually
that's
can't.
when
You
I'm in
actually
public
can't
though, and I
wait.
can't find a spot. It's
I-
hard,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is hard. Yeah.
Well, I want to ask more about the gallbladder stones because
Sure.
my grandmother gave us a scare literally like this past week, and she was in the hospital for a blood infection. They said the blood infection was caused by gallbladder stones, and so she's 96 years old.
Wow.
And
Bless her heart.
yeah, and long story short, she the doctor didn't even want to, it was like, hey, she's got a 50-50 chance. She's 96. We don't know how her body's going to react. So she made it through, but they removed 10 stones from her, 10 gallbladder stones. And they said that she's probably going to get them again if she doesn't,
Change your way of
yeah. But it was just like, to me, I when I heard 10 stones, I was like, that's a lot. I was, and this lady, they just put the procedure or anything like that. But it was something that I didn't even know because they said it was infecting her blood. And
Well, yeah, so when you have a clogged gallbladder,
yeah.
it's not doing the processing like it should, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's, and she must have been in pain.
Yeah.
So that's why they went to the ER, right?
Yep.
Okay, and they saw the scan that she had these gallstones in her, and they did an ultrasound, and they had to have removed
Yeah.
her gallbladder.
Yes.
At 96, she was?
96 years old.
Wow. Well, she's still producing bile.
Okay.
That's generated by her liver, and that's good. She's healthy to have that still generate. But there's no holding gallbladder to hold the bile. It just will inject automatically into her through the small intestines, through the duodenum.
Oh, man.
That's right after the stomach. It automatically senses our body when there's fats. When we eat fats of any kind, be it ice cream, fried foods, whatever, or a piece of steak that has high fat content, then the bile is injected automatically from the duodenum of your intestine after it passes the stomach.
So then let me ask you this. Someone at her age, 96, is that something like a potential client that you would actually work with? Or do you have any limitations with
I've
clients?
worked with clients up to 103 years of age.
Wow.
And that's what kept them going. This is really, the stories that have evolved out of this process over 39 years of working with people is amazing. I had this one lady who was in 98 when she kept coming to me for more than 10 years. And she would eat almost a block of cheese a week. And she would, eat ice cream every night.
Ooh,
and then her daughter would be so picky about her foods. And the daughter had more problems than the mother at 90, in her 90s.
Wow.
And so, yeah, and she was getting regular colon therapy and coming to me at least once a month. So she attributed, she says, Natalie, I think you're keeping me alive. Monthly treatments.
Wow.
And she lived to 98.
Wow, that's awesome.
You take care of your body, you take care of your health.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your body
Absolutely.
will take care of you.
Right. I mean, if I'm understanding this correctly, it's just really we don't detox enough. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Your detox helps you to reset your body, and give it a break from all the foods.
Right.
I do 1 day fasting a week. For 1 day, I'm just on juicing and liquids, water. Mainly a gallon of water to flush things through.
Okay.
I do this monthly for myself when I'm talking about colon therapy.
Yeah.
And I am 78 years old.
Wow, that's awesome.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Wait, what?
So 1 day a week. Because that was my next question. Like, aside from like eating healthier, like what are some other good practices for just to do at home for detoxing?
Yeah.
And you
the
said
1
like
day
one day
just
fasting.
liquids and just fasting. Clear your body with just liquids.
I see.
You can do a 16-hour fast. That'll be workable too, and then eat the following day. But how you break a fast is important as well.
Okay.
So you go in with some applesauce or some oatmeal, something soft.
Yeah.
Kind of ease your way back into.
Ease into
I see.
before you have. And then the leanest protein of all the animal proteins is fish. You could do fish and a green salad as the first type of protein.
That'll probably be the smarter way to do
Yeah,
it, right?
you don't want to eat
Yeah.
A big old steak.
steak.
Yeah, give me
And
that
clog up the
ribeye.
system again. There you go.
I see.
At the prices of ribeyes right now, oh my God. I had one lady price it at her butcher and it was $52
Sounds
for
about right.
one piece of
Yeah,
Yep, that's what we're
Ribeye
going at right
steak.
now.
it is crazy
Terrible.
for sure.
I have a client. He goes to you. He
yeah.
tells me all the time. He goes, "Man, Mike, every time I go, man, I feel lighter, man.
Yeah.
I feel good. I feel, come in, I'm ready to work out." And he goes, "Man, it's like the best therapy, man, that I've had.
It resets the body.
Swears
Brings
on
it
it.
into balance.
Yeah.
And he says he's just much healthier now. His exercise is much more easier for him to go through and stuff. So obviously, it's doing the job. He's like 72 years old.
Yes, and he'll live. What he does now at 72 will make the difference. How he's going to be at 82 and 92.
He outlasts me on the golf course. I don't tell him that, but it's,
And I like hearing that because
I just come. He goes, "Well, how do you feel, Mike?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I feel great, And he goes, "I feel great too, man. You want to go again?" I go, "Nah, man, I got to get home,
wife
But-
needs me.
Yeah,
But it's like your client's 70, and then
70
I found out that my client
72.
72. My client is 30 years old, and my client went to you. She called it the butt pump. I was like, I'm gonna get butt pumped. I'm like, what you talking about, Willis?
Yeah.
And she explained to me what it was, and I had no idea that what you were doing. Like that, it was more beneficial for everything that you're just educating me on right now.
Yes.
But I love that it's like you're hearing, a 90-year-old patient of yours, 72-year-old, 30-year-old. Like this
Yes,
is
for all
something
ages,
for
yeah.
all ages. It's,
Right.
And I think it's just like someone like, closer to me and Kyle, this is all new to us. I've never would have thought to like, go get my colon cleansed out. Right. It's just like, and hearing like pretty much how it's the main source of a lot of things. It's you're opening my eyes to a lot of things,
sure.
Natalie.
Well,
and,
good.
and I'm really appreciating that right now.
Oh,
'cause it's
thank
like-
you very much.
and-
So you have some bodybuilders that you
That have come to me, yes.
that come to you for that. You
Right.
know. Is that why is that? Is
Well-
it because they want a smaller waistline, or is it just for the health part of it, or
It's the health part of it, And then also they want to have a much more defined waistline, and also looking good if they're bodybuilding for competitions. You know, I've had a lot of people who's working.
I didn't know they do that. I didn't. I had no idea that that's one of the ways.
I had a bodybuilder a number of years ago that came to me, a gentleman, and he says, I've been working 3 years on getting the 6-pack abs. And here it is, 3 colon sessions, and my 6-pack abs have just kind of deflated. I said, what we're deflating is the intestines underneath, the colon.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
But so you have a slimmer waistline, that's for sure. So, but that makes a difference. It really does. So I had this wonderful client, 52, in her age category, that I've been training for more than 2 years, bodybuilding, and she took first place in the nationals. She wanted to get rid of the little extra that was pooching out this way here in the abdomen. And sure enough, 3 sessions, it went flatter. And she took the nationals first place.
How does that process work? I mean, because you're eliminating the fat that's basically around the abs. That's what you do as a bodybuilder.
Right.
That's what you do at first. So
we're just irrigating out the colon that
which
is
is underneath the
that.
abs.
So that deflates
Yeah,
your actual in your
clears the colon, and then you have a flatter tummy.
Okay.
Yeah. You're working as a bodybuilder to get rid of the fat.
Right.
Right?
Be as lean as
That's
possible.
on the surface of it.
Surface of it.
Right.
And once you get rid of that, then you cleanse out the colon,
Which
that
is
deflates
underneath it.
more.
Yeah, it
basically
clears
what
it out.
does.
Because you're carrying 10% of your weight in your colon.
Oh, okay. That
Okay.
actually makes
Yeah.
that's logical.
See, now I'm getting
yeah.
conscious of my colon.
Well, it's crazy because like hearing about a lot of that, I would probably say majority of my clientele are women, and I've heard this term probably in the last 10 years, a fupa, and I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's
fupa?
a fupa.
Tell me
that?
what that is.
It's the fat underneath right here, right.
Oh, the
here.
love handle.
The love handle, but I've heard it right here, and I heard like multiple women say that. It's a very new term. I've never heard of it. Look it up, FUPA.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was literally one of my clients had me look into it.
Fat upper pubic area.
Yeah.
That's what a FUPA
Yeah.
stands for.
And a lot,
FUP.
Also called the pooch.
the pooch.
Okay, pooch.
The pooch, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Why does it seem though that a lot of women in general struggle with that area?
Well, like for what Kyle had mentioned earlier, that there is estrogens build up, and then there is also the cortisol levels go up in the body when now the microtoxins aren't moving out through elimination. Okay, so when your body's under stress, you form higher cortisol levels. Okay, that numbers goes up, and your DHA goes down, and so you gain more weight along through the pooch and the side
The
hips
Yeah.
and the thickness around the thighs here. That's all cortisol mostly building up.
Wow.
Wow. And then would that, like, I mean, if they were to go see you to get the colon therapy,
Cleansed out. And then also, when you have a backed up colon, and most women are backed up,
Yeah.
okay, 75% of the population are constipated.
Wow.
So you have a buildup of lymphatic treatments. We do lymphatic drainage
Okay.
and for people to get this thinner here.
Yeah.
Because when you're backed up in the colon, you back up the lymph system as well. So that's some of the fluid buildup into here.
And that's why exercise is important, because that helps with lymphatic drainage.
Yes.
Right, the movement, body movement,
Yeah. Right.
physical movement.
Natalie, you have a book that you wrote?
Yeah,
Yes.
the book is called Body Talk Never Lies.
Okay.
we had published about 10,000 copies and sold them all.
Nice.
I haven't republished it again, but on my website, DNS Therapy, you can find it. And under the product page, pull the bar down and you'll see products. The very last thing is the book. It's on an ebook now.
I see.
Yeah.
Nice.
It used to
Even
be
better
in Barnes
access.
and Noble and
Yeah.
Amazon.com.
What inspired you to write this, and what's
the
like the
work I
message
do,
that you want your audience to take away from it?
Yes, but what inspired me was that over the years I just saw so many wonderful cases, because I look at the whole mind-body connection, and that's where I'm coming from in the book. When it's entitled "Body Talk Never Lies," it's how the body speaks to you through pain, through symptoms.
Right.
And that's how the body talks to you. And if you can't listen, it can make the difference on your health.
I see. I see.
And people go years without finding what's wrong with them until it's too late. Okay?
They might be ignoring like certain signals that their body's sending them.
Absolutely. Also, we are human beings. We get caught up in life and stress and so on. Sometimes when you live with so much stress, that's all you know. But I kind of think that we as people can contribute to our bodies more and our health if we paid attention to our bodies more.
Gotcha.
The whole listen to your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah.
I say that to clients all the time. You gotta
Absolutely.
listen to
For
your
sure.
body. It's
I'll give you an example, okay? I had a 42-year-old woman come in one day, and 20 minutes went by. I had only clear water coming out. She was not releasing. I said, "You're in a holding pattern. Would you like to discover why you're holding on to it?" She says, "Yeah, I would like to know why I'm holding on to it. I can't seem to let go." I said, "Okay, close your eyes." And this work moves very intuitionally, and the word came up for her was nurturing. I said, "What do you consider the most nurturing aspect to your life?" It's a very benign question. And she said, she started tearing, crying, wailing for about 7 minutes, really deep cries. And I said, "What's the picture?" She says, "I'm about 3 years of age, and I've put them in my pants. I'm now spreading it on the walls." I said, "Where is your mother in this?" She said, "She's standing by the door." I said, "I want you to zoom in like a camera lens with your mind's eye. See the facial expression of your mother." She said, "She's very loving. She's very nurturing," buzzword. More tears, more tears. And she says, I said, "I want you to bring in your experience right now that through the constipation you're experiencing, you're trying to re-experience your mother's love and nurturance." More tears and more tears. And then she said, "I've spent 12 and a half years of deep psychoanalysis, and nobody has ever touched on this."
Wow.
But while she was crying, a lot of the garbage was moving out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's an emotional component in how the past, through cellular memory.
Yeah.
And she says, "I lost my mother around that time because she died in an auto crash.
oh, wow.
So I never knew my mother."
Oh, wow.
And I said, "You've held on to this to hold on to the last vestige of what you remembered about your mother through the constipation." It freed her off the constipation now that she knew why she was holding on to it.
Wow.
See how powerful this work is?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it freed her of the constipation. But this is what my work entails.
Yeah.
My doctorate's in holistic health counseling, so I utilize it every day in helping people.
Yeah.
So they get more than just cleaning butts.
For sure.
Here.
For sure. It's a
It
deep-
No, I was
really
about
is
to say,
transforming lives.
Absolutely.
It's you, Natalie.
Yeah.
it's you. You are. It's because like I said, I'm pretty sure I can go find another colon therapy somewhere else, but they're not getting the Natalie
Yeah, you
experience.
seem like you're very in tune
Yes,
with
you're-
like
Yeah.
your body and with other people's. And like even earlier, you mentioned that like with one of your clients, you just went into meditation and then you thought about, oh, you should take this pancreas test or whatever.
Yeah.
And then
do
they
a
found out it
scan.
was cancer. So it was like, you must have a really strong ability
Well,
to.
that's what happens when you've honed in for 39 years
Yeah.
and worked with more than 70,000 people.
Yeah,
You know, there are certain patterns that come up, and
that's amazing.
you get very intuitive in the work itself.
Well,
That's awesome.
Natalie. It's you. You are amazing, and not just that. I
Thank
think you
you.
even told us earlier that you got an award.
Oh, that was in 2019.
Yeah.
I received the award as the Colon Hydrotherapist Year of the Award. They only give it to one colon therapist in the world once a year.
That's amazing.
And I happened to get
That's
it in
awesome.
2019.
Wow. I'm not
You're voted
surprised.
in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm not
Just
surprised.
goes to show you're doing God's work.
I am. And you know, I am living, this is living proof that I am following my purpose in life. And through this work, I'm living a purpose-filled life.
Mhm.
And I'm helping so many thousand people. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to retire, because I'm still being helpful. I'm using my gifts, my talents. You know, I'm not one to just sit home in front of a TV. I have
love
to
that.
be working and helping people.
Well, to me, I don't even think it's considered work for you. You enjoy.
You're so right.
Yeah.
Cisco, because it is living. It's living proof that I am fulfilling my life's purpose here, and so it's effortless. It really is effortless.
I can.
It's not a stretch for me to do each person, and I never question who comes to my table because I know I can be of help to them. And here's another story. I was about 10 minutes before going to 6 o'clock. I was going to end my day. The phone rings, and I said, okay, one more last call. So I answer, this is DNS Colon Therapy. How may I help you? She says, you're the third therapist that I've called, but the only one that has answered. That's what she said. I said, how may I be of service? She says, it's not for me. It's for my daughter. She's special needs. She hasn't been able to go to the restroom for 10 days. I said, and she's in a lot of pain? She says, yes. I said, where do you live? And she says, Tustin. I said, just only 30 minutes, so you could be here in 30 minutes in Huntington Beach. She says, yes. Gather your daughter. I'll stay later for you. Just come on over. And they wheeled her in. The daughter had Rett syndrome. This is Rett syndrome. There's only 9 million people with this problem.
What is this? What's Rett syndrome?
It has half a brain when she was born with only half a brain. She can only crawl. She cannot walk. She cannot talk. Everything's in a diaper. Wow. Can't sit on a toilet. Okay? She's a 17-year-old girl in a body of an 8-year-old, half developed. Okay? So I decided to pray. Let's all join hands. And I said, we joined hands with that she was wheelchaired in, and we lifted her to the table. We all joined hands, and I went into prayer. The mother was crying, the aunt was crying, and she was shaking vehemently the whole time. It's a neurological issue. And so after I said the prayer, I began the work. And as I continued the work, the mound came down, flatter tumor. All the gases were building and it was causing a lot of pain. And we got her cleaned out. And at one point, she was still shaking. I just put my hand on her. And it was like this bright light hit her face for a moment. And the mother said, what was that? I said, it's just the power of God at work. Working through me, you know.
I love that.
Facilitating.
Yeah.
And so when she left, she had a face that was so calm and at peace, and she had a smile. a gentle smile on her face, and she wasn't shaking at all. So we lifted her back to her wheelchair, and then she went on her way back home.
Wow.
And the mother said to me last, I've never seen my daughter at this peacefulness, this calm. Thank you so much. You've helped her so much. So this is the kind of things that transforming lives every single day, that this is what it's all about for me.
That is awesome.
Why I do this work.
Yeah, I love that.
Give me
And we can
chills.
tell for sure, you're very passionate about this. How does one even get into this type of
Well, you have to
business?
get training. The training has changed considerably over the last 39 years. But right now, it's about 265 hours. You've got to have 65 hours of internship with a colon therapist to guide you through each session.
Yeah.
But there's book work and testing and learning of your anatomy, your physiology, and all of that. Some of it's online, and
Yeah.
the rest is in class kind of thing.
But how did you start focusing on colon therapy yourself?
Well, I was chosen, Kyle, and I mean this sincerely. You never know what I was doing before this. 40 years ago, I was living in the state of Michigan, and I was a licensed builder with my husband. We built 5 major subdivisions of homes, called customized homes. I was a licensed contractor. And these subdivisions are 275 acres big. Okay.
Huge, yeah.
We had to put in the roads, the underground utilities, and build houses
Okay.
to the theme of the subdivision. And so when I put myself to therapy and I was wondering what my discontent was about, I discovered that I was just doing my husband's work. I wasn't doing the work I was meant to do in life, living a purpose-filled life. Anyway, I did it well, but we divorced and I moved to California, and I pursued a holistic health field and started over. And I had 2 young children at the time, age 7 and 9, my daughter and son, who's now 50 and 48.
Jeez. Time flies.
So time flies, yes, especially when you're doing your life's purpose. Time really flies. And so I enrolled myself in this holistic health program. And then this friend told me that she'd had a colon therapy. I said, what's that? She explained it to me, and I said, Right around that time, my father died of cancer. And so I thought, eating patterns are shaped when you were a child. So I better do this. I was 39 at the time.
That's all. Yeah.
And so I decided to get all 6 treatments all in 1 week. I went every day for 6 days. I've dropped 10 pounds, and I felt the best I ever felt in life at 39. So it changed my life. And about 90 days later, the doctor who worked on me, Dr. Leola Griffin, had been doing this work for 47 years. She called me up at night on a Friday night, and she said, Natalie, this is Dr. Griffin. I have one question for you. I said, go ahead. She says, what do you think of colon therapy? I said, Dr. Griffin, I think it's absolutely the most fascinating process I've ever come across. I think it's a world of good you do. I personally found this to be the most best thing I did in my life. She says, well, I'd like to train you to do this work. Would you please come into my office and start Monday? I said, wait,
Wow.
I've got something going on Monday, but I'll cancel that and I'll come to your office. And so she trained me, and then I went on to further training to become, there's 5 levels, and I became an instructor level of colon therapy.
Wow, so the cards just lined up somehow to where
Yes.
you were chosen for this.
Yes, and it's all
It's insane.
in divine providence at work here, guiding me to what I was meant to do in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and so I learned the trade, and Dr. Griffin came to work in my office. She wanted to sell me her practice, and I moved the practice to my office. And so the rest is history. 39 years, more than 70,000 people I've worked on.
Amazing.
That's awesome. And you know what? Like, I love it that, you did this in your late 30s and you figured it out.
Yeah.
And, that's a very positive, like, outlook in life for people like us who are under that age group that are still trying to figure it out, that it's probably not even late right now. And it's, and just seeing you, how you speak about your profession, how you feel about it. That's why I said you're not working. You're really not, and you're doing, and you're enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it. Life,
And you're just an amazing human being, Natalie. I mean,
Thank you.
And I'm glad we had you on here. I want you to look into the camera, let the audience know, where can they find you? Where can they meet you?
Okay. Well, we have an online presence, www.DNS. The D stands for detox, N for naturally, and S for safely, therapy. So it's DNS therapy.com. And you can book your sessions online as well and check out my availability with your schedule and schedule your appointments 3 in a row to make a big difference and transform your life to a healthier being.
Damn, thank
3 in a row.
3 in a row.
Yeah. I'm here in Huntington Beach at 18672 Florida Street, across from the 5 Point Shopping Center, and the 3rd Medical Office Building down on Florida Street in Suite 102A in Huntington Beach. Thank you.
Find this lady, you guys.
Yes.
Natalie, thank you for everything that you just did for us in this last hour.
I was happy to be here and to educate everybody about
Yes.
the poem.
Really appreciate your time.
Great.
So you guys at home, we hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. Once again, I'm Coach Cisco.
Coach Michael.
Coach Kyle.
Thank you, Natalie.
Well.